Welcome in Browns in Stadium host Bridget into the show. How you doing, Bridget?
Hi, guys.
Wait, that's not Bull. What in the world?
I feel like we look so similar. It's crazy.
What just happened to our show?
We literally just did a magic trick.
You know you had to show up on UCSS, and if you show up, you got to have your shoe game together. And I see what you did there.
I do.
Yeah.
I do got the shoe game going on right here.
I like those.
Thank you.
You're doing your thing.
You know, oddly enough, Bull has that same pair.
He does, yeah.
Liars. Bull ain't seen those. You don't even know where to buy them at.
He's got his
Bridget Linton,
Arthur
welcome to the show.
Tree store shoes on.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to see you again.
I wish that we were talking about a lot more exciting things happening with the Browns.
It sucks, doesn't it?
It does.
I mean, we're 1-3. It feels like I said on Monday. I mean, it almost feels like the air is completely out of our sail, and we're just sort of limping along now.
Well, and just looking at last year, we did so well at home.
Yeah.
And that was the most exciting part, just especially with my job. That's my whole gig, is to hype up the fans, be a part of it with them. And this year, it just feels like we started off so high, and it just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. And I don't know what the difference is.
Yeah,
they were so good at home last year.
Well, the defense looks like a shell of itself.
Yeah.
And we still haven't figured it out on offense. So.
One of my favorite games last year was the Jets game. I don't know how y'all got that off, but like in stadiums like College, Dustin, doing the college games, when they score, they turn the lights off and just a whole light show. I thought it was.
You remember the days when it took like 10 minutes to get the lights on?
Yeah, and then or hit the cannon going off. Now they go off and they like it's a whole club.
Yeah,
like you guys doing that, like I want to see more of that. When we gonna get that off again?
Okay, thank you for saying that, because we do. We have so many plans for this season, and that's why it's been so disappointing that it's not translating on the field, because the entertainment side of it, we're going all out.
Well, the light show has to be a night game.
Yes, true.
You can't have a light show in the day.
So stay tuned for that. But honestly, I am really excited for the Browns-Bengals game. It's our rock and roll game.
Yeah.
I think it's the night before is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions here in downtown Cleveland. So we're going to make it fun. We try to make the home opener amazing as we possibly could. We had MGK show up. We had the Black Keys as our dog pound captains.
That was dope.
We always try to make it more of, okay, hey, even if the players aren't doing what they're supposed to do on the field, at least you had a good time.
Yeah, how do you make it a show?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Now, we don't like that thinking.
Right, exactly.
We like that. You know what? We saw a great football game and a great show. We can't have an okay football game but a great show. That's definitely not going to fly in Cleveland. What, in your view, you mentioned that it hasn't been the same level of enthusiasm. Obviously, when you're winning, it's hard to get the crowd hyped up. What's missing on the field, in your view? Like, is it the quarterback? Is it the defense? What's going wrong?
I think it's everything. Like right now, it's been so easy for everyone to blame Deshaun Watson, like the quarterback. It's the easiest position to blame. When you watch it, he didn't have a bad game in Vegas. He's showing improvements. I'm like, it's the defense, it's the offense, it's special teams, it's coaching. I just feel like right now we're just not at the level that they should be. Again, especially coming off of a high of last year. Like, playoffs are not the expectations anymore. Like, no, we want to go on a deep run into January and February, and to start the season off like this, it's sad, it's disappointing. And again, in my job where I'm supposed to be like the hype woman, it's getting a little difficult. But I will say in Vegas, that was unbelievable. It felt like we took the city of Cleveland and just dropped it in Vegas.
It was amazing how many fans were in that stadium.
Yes, so much orange and brown everywhere you went. I got recognized more in Vegas than I do here in my own city in Cleveland.
Nuts.
I'm walking through the different hotels, walking the strip, and be like, Bridget, doing the Here We Go Brownies chant. It just, the hype going into that game was so high. And again, we haven't been able to win at home. I think the Raiders, they're a beatable team. They don't have all of their players on the field. This is the game that's going to rejuvenate everything. And so that was so disappointing. But again, the hype is still there. We're a Browns town. The fans, they're not leaving this team, that's for sure.
Well, you talk about the hype. I mean, you're going to get Nick Chubb back here sometime in the next several weeks, right? And that could maybe rejuvenate this team in terms of the offense and getting kind of that hype rolling again. Is it fair? We asked the question earlier. Is it fair to put a lot of pressure on Nick when he gets back?
I think so. I mean, he's Nick Chubb. And even him last year just being around, I mean, look how well they did at home. Like, him just still being around and his presence there, I feel like made such a difference with this team. So I think him coming to practice today, I don't know when he's going to actually be able to play in a game again, but I think just him being around will hopefully help. And then when he is back on the field, I think it's okay to put some pressure on him, especially if the medical team says, like, hey, he's good to go, then why not?
I don't think we'll see him on the field until the medical team says he's 100%.
Right.
But you know what, Bridget, you make an interesting point, because did you guys see the video that Njoku put out of
Yeah.
he was walking into the facility and he had his arm around Nick Chubb. And it was funny to me that he was singing the theme song from a television sitcom in the 1960s. Not quite sure how he even knows that song.
I mean, he's eclectic.
But he knew it.
Right.
And I just thought, you know what? I think everybody does walk into the facility this week with a little extra bounce in their step, a little bit of energy in the tank because 24 is back in the building. From a player standpoint, you've been through this where key pieces of your team were not there and then suddenly they were. What kind of infusion does that bring a football team?
It's huge. Whenever I remember, this is not quite the scale, but like in the year we won the title in 02,
Right.
when we lost Claret early in the season because he was battling some injuries. Every time he came back, and he came back multiple times, but like I remember when he had the knee surgery early in the year, it's like, man, we got through that Cincinnati game, and like we had a bye week coming up, and then he came back for the run, throughout October, November to help
title.
us. Yeah, and we couldn't have done without him.
Yeah.
We couldn't have.
Did you feel extra energy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
For
got
sure.
I don't want to get you in trouble, Bridget.
Who, me or Jay?
No, Bridget. I
Oh,
don't
Bridget,
want to get you
okay.
in no trouble. But listen, the stadium, right? So, like, come on. Like, from your perspective, like, we saw the renderings and the drawings. I'm looking like, man, I can go shopping there. There's a food court right here. Bro, like, I know the backstage is crazy. It's concerts there. Like, what do you want to do? You prefer outside or what you want to do to the new
She
stadium?
was just in Vegas.
I was going to say, listen, I love the stadium that we have now, and I think there's something special about Cleveland that we do have all 4 seasons. And you're there, you get bundled up when we're playing in November, December. There's something unique and special about that. But yeah, then going to Vegas and being at Allegiant Stadium. Last year I was in SoFi Stadium, and I'm like, dang.
How incredible is that stadium?
It's unbelievable. And I love what they did specifically in Vegas. They played into what their city is. They literally have bottle service tables on the field. We have our amazing field seats. Oh no, they have their cocktail waitresses with the bottles. And they make it a party there because, when it comes to Vegas, not Raiders fans, they're not like Cleveland fans. Again, there's a reason why it was a lot of orange and brown at Allegiant Stadium and not a lot of diehard Raiders fans. So they play into it. And they make it a series, a concert every single game, which is really exciting. And I think that in Cleveland, we'll stick with football if we have a stadium like that. But look what we're able to do outside of the season.
Entertainment-wise,
Yeah.
are you serious? Like, and I don't got to go outside? Like,
And from a wardrobe standpoint, you don't need the Uggs and you don't need the fur coats anymore.
Okay, what was it? I think it was 2 seasons ago. We played on Christmas Eve.
Yes, I was at that game.
Okay, so like
Coldest game I've ever been to.
and at that point, like we're not going to the
That
playoffs.
was the Saints game, right?
Yes.
Oh, that was nasty.
And it was like negative 20 degrees. There's
It was
barely anyone in the
brutal.
stadium. It was so cold. Browns weren't playing well, and it's Christmas Eve. I literally just wore a ski suit. Wore a ski suit, 70,000 layers underneath. I didn't care what I looked like at that point.
At that, I always wonder. I used to ask my dad this all the time, and I don't know why I asked him. This dude goes to church 55 times a day. He's like, I said, Dad, why don't the Browns have cheerleaders? He just looked at me like, yeah, I don't. I said, so if you had to choose bottle services, right? So, because I like that. I like bottle services side.
Sure.
I like that. Bottle services, cheerleaders, or a band? Which what would you add?
Wow.
I would go with the band or the cheerleaders for sure, because the Raiders did have the Raiderettes.
Right.
And listen, I was on dance team in college, so I found myself at the game. I'm like watching them. I'm like, oh yeah, get it, girls. And I'm like, dang, I want that at Cleveland Browns.
They're iconic. Like,
We've never had them.
Never.
I think we're one of the few franchises that has never had them.
Yeah.
Ask Jimmy. I need you to talk to Jimmy Haslam and say, hey, listen.
schedule a
Listen,
meeting with
if
them.
we go to that dome, I think the cheerleaders are coming.
I hope so.
Yeah, you can't have cheerleaders in December in Cleveland. You can't.
Yeah,
No.
that
not a good look.
Yeah, it's not a good look though.
Would we get some more free agents?
Is that
Maybe.
a calling card? I mean, you gotta think about it. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are iconic.
That's what I'm saying.
The Laker girls are iconic.
Wait, are you
Like,
talking about more free agents because we have cheerleaders or because we play
I
the
was
dome?
being more sarcastic,
Okay.
but yeah. But
But
I mean, we
dome
can go
would
down
then-
that road.
dome would
But I
increase
took
your
it
likelihood of-
seriously. Like I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No players picking a team because they have cheerleaders.
No, there's
But they
rules.
might,
better
if
not.
we have a dome, they might, in that case.
A dome would definitely
Yeah.
reel in players.
There's called rules and regulations. HR, we're gonna need to have a conversation about that, but that's neither here nor there. But the dome, though, I think that brings a lot of people.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It definitely does.
Well, Deshaun Watson initially said wasn't interested in playing in Cleveland, primarily because of the weather.
Yeah.
And and you know what? If you think about where the football players come from, I know Ohio produces a ton, but historically they come from Florida, Texas,
South.
California. Those guys, if they go to a Southeastern Conference school, their bowl games are always in warm weather locations or domes. They never play in the elements.
No.
And then they find out they're drafted by Cleveland, and they're like, "Oh no, I can't have this."
Yeah, it's tough. Like this is a question. Obviously, you work in Cleveland. Mm-hmm. You're a woman, and there is not that much representation in this type of market for women. For those individuals or women or young ladies that want to get into the business, tell us a little bit about your story, how you got into the business, and any advice for young ladies that want to break into a really male-dominated, driven industry.
And I'm glad you asked that question because my answer has changed over the years of the piece of advice portion. I will say, big Northeast Ohio girl, grew up in Greene, Ohio, went to University of Akron, have worked in Cleveland ever since. So just kind of kept moving a little bit north, but I've never gotten out of here. So I've grown up as a Cleveland fan, so working in Cleveland sports is really a dream. When people always ask me, well, what's next? Do you want to go national? Do you want to do this? I'm like, I'm working for a team I grew up cheering for. And yeah, I have the same emotions as every other Cleveland fan of the emotional roller coaster, but I'm never going to stop being a Browns fan.
Right.
So it's been amazing. When I graduated from University of Akron, I was fortunate enough to get a job at Fox Sports Ohio right out of college. So I was there for about 3 years. You guys all know Jimmy Hanlon. So I hosted a golf show with him. And at that point I was kind of like, what do I want to do next? I feel like I've gotten all I can out of here. I knew I never wanted to be the typical female in sports, a sideline reporter. I did like the entertainment side of sports. And at that point, social media was on the rise. They were starting to bring more entertainment into sports. And so Jimmy is the one, I got to give him credit, said, have you ever thought about radio? When you're in radio, you talk about everything. It's not a TV position where it's like, all right, you got 30 seconds, you have this interview. I'm like, no, I haven't. So I looked into that, started working at ESPN Cleveland. And then 2 years ago, the Browns had reached out about the position open for the in-game host for the Browns, started doing that, and it's really opened up a lot of doors. So stepped away from radio and really have gone full in the hosting, live event hosting, TV, all of that stuff. Outside of sports, I do a lot of other live event hosting as well, pageants, galas, all of them.
Yeah. But that's so crazy because it's like you kind of have to be multifaceted. You have to, if you're not just going to do the sports, you're doing other things because now it's kind of like you have to be a jack of all trades.
Have you seen her dance with them, the tap dance?
Oh yeah, that's my fun fact. I can Irish dance too.
Oh, yeah.
Like really? Like clog?
Jay, you didn't know this?
No.
Yeah, you got to see her do
Oh
it.
my
no,
gosh,
I had
Jay,
no
I was
idea.
a world-class Irish dancer. Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
She's a big deal on Instagram.
It's a thing.
Your
dude.
social media game, Jay.
On the gram?
Your gram game.
I'm not on point on the gram. What am I doing?
I did. No, I used to travel like the world competing in Irish dance.
No kidding.
Yeah.
McNuggets, how did you not set her up? You should have told her to bring the clogs and had a music bed ready to
You
go.
guys will have to have me on
someone
again.
who grew up with the sister who was a professional ballerina, I hate dance. No offense, Bridget. I had to sit
least
through.
he's
My
honest.
sister owns dance companies.
I had to sit
and
through so many
studios
recitals
in
as a
Phoenix.
kid.
Oh my.
So she grew up in that world.
Brutal.
Here's the question I have to you. You attended a party at my house.
I did.
How did I not see that at the party?
Well, I didn't know we were offering up party tricks. I would have.
Well, listen, it's always on the table.
Well,
It's
all
always
right,
on
next
the
time.
table.
You know what? Next time
We
I'm just
weren't
gonna
at
walk
that
into
party.
any room I walk into.
Wonder what
I'm
my
gonna say,
invite was.
No, hold on. Let me backtrack.
We weren't at that.
No,
joint.
it
No
was
more text, bro? I can't get a text?
This
All
was
right,
an
no.
exclusive.
Man.
This is an exclusive.
It was a Channel 3
Jay
thing.
didn't even invite me. You guys.
That's
you
true.
crashed?
That's not true because I told Queso, you know your circle, go nuts.
Yeah. This is for Laura Queso, who was a news anchor on WKYC, good friend of
Dear
mine.
friend of both of us.
And she and
She was
Jay was
leaving
nice
to Boston.
enough. Yes.
We threw the going away party at the crib, and so this is a true story. Bridget got pissed at me because when we were there, I don't know why. I called her Brittany, I think, didn't I?
Yeah, it's like the worst name to.
I
mix
know,
me up
I
for.
know, Bridget.
They're very different names.
And
And he's
so-
like, Brittany, I'm so glad you came. Like, well,
Yeah.
that's not even my name, but all
Yeah,
right.
but I'm sure you're glad. Yeah, I felt awful. I'm not great with names in general. Like, so it's
You'll
not.
never forget now.
Oh my God.
Yes, you will
Absolutely not.
never, ever
But I'm
forget.
just wondering why I didn't see any of the Irish dancing at the party. It would have been
All
a
right,
hit.
I think you guys need to have another party.
I think that's
That'll come on.
And I got to
Have me
invite
back.
these two.
Have me back on the show. We'll do a little talent show segment.
A talent section of the
Yes.
show.
And by the way,
I want to see you and Bull side by side.
Great.
Irish dancing.
Shout out to your
pay
friend
not to
Betsy.
see that.
Shout out to Betsy.
Oh, Bets.
No, I see you, not him.
We went to OU together, and we actually have the same birthday.
No way.
Yeah, shout out
Oh,
to
you're a
Betsy.
Scorpio too.
Yeah.
We have
boy.
super chat.